My name is Questionet. I've always had a goal in life, to be happy. I've always wanted to spend my limited days on this planet as happy as possible. Every action and decision served this purpose. So, why am I unhappy right now? I had a relationship, like everyone else's, where two people loved each other. As everyone says, ours was different and special, because it was. But now it is ended. Is it normal for this to make me as unhappy as it does? I wish I could just forget everything. It would be so nice. Is there any possible way? In order to understand how forgetting works, we need to take a look at how we learn things. There are many nerve cells in our brain. When nerve cells connect with other nerve cells, synapses are found. A synapse is a small gap at the end of a neuron that allows a signal to pass from one neuron to the next. Information is stored in the synapses. So, whenever we learn something new, a synapse occurs in our brain. Whenever a synapse breaks, we forget something. The breaking of these synapses causes the information to be erased and forgotten. You have probably seen this notification if you have a smartphone. There are proteins in our brains that do the same. They mark synapses that have not been used for a long time. Then these so-called auxiliary cells break the synapses that have been marked with that protein. The free axon ends then create new synapses to store new information. But things like forgetting your ex will not happen with this method. So, how come? One day, a psychology student called Bluma Zeigarnik was at a restaurant and noticed how the waiter didn't take notes when taking his order and decided to ask the waiter how he managed this. After being told that the orders are stored in his short-time memory, the subject began to attract the attention of Zeigarnik even more. Zeigarnik and his teacher Kurt Lewin did various studies on the subject, and the result they encountered is that unfinished works continue to keep mind busy. However, when the work is done, the mind gets rid of this occupation and easily erases that information. Later on, Zeigarnik finds out that there is a pressure of the mind to complete the job that has been left unfinished in order to move on to a new job more easily. The whole issue is that feeling of unfinishedness. When we conclude this, we will be able to continue our life much more comfortably. Relationships are also like that. You start a life together, you become a huge part of each other's life. Then, when it's over, you still let your mind wander about the failed relationship because you have not accepted that it has ended. What is the reason for not being able to accept that a relationship is over? Expectations. But what is the thing we are expecting and waiting for? It may have a series of names around the world in different cultures, such as soulmate, partner, or other half. Everybody has a different name, but the search is the same. We are looking for the right person, our partner. Immortality has been the evolutionary purpose of every living thing. Every evolution has taken place in order to survive and reproduce. When it comes to immortality, you may think that a creature will live forever, but it is not exactly that. Living things have not been able to immortal, but they have successfully passed on their genes to the next generations, thus making a copy of them live on even after their deaths. To do this, most animals, especially mammals like us, need a partner. In other words, our search for a partner actually comes from the urge to be immortal. But finding the right person doesn't necessarily mean finding the right relationship for you. You may not be the right person for someone who is right for you. What we should be looking for instead is the right relationship. Some of us are constantly trying, and some of us are waiting in the hopes of meeting one day. The right thing to do after being dumped is not to give up on yourself. What should be given up on is the ended relationship. Life goes on. There are people out there who are right for all of us. The important thing is to create the compatible, right relationship. It is normal to feel sad after your relationship has ended. Being sad shows that you really care about the person you are with. It is good to be able to show value even if the person being valued and cherished isn't the right for you. Why do we always remember the good things instead of the many arguments and fights? This is a brain-related phenomenon. If you miss someone, the brain chooses to remember your positive memories of that person. If you are angry with someone, it chooses memories that support this feeling. We can forgive someone again and again because our brain chooses to remember the good aspects of that person. In other words, forgetting an ex is the result of getting used to that sadness over time. What is forgotten is not the person, but the feelings you had for them. You don't really forget about them though. They are just not as strong as they used to be. Try not to forget someone, but to overcome your feelings for them. Feel your emotions. You were happy and joyful when you guys were together, but now you have to feel the sadness that comes with the breakup. Heartbreak is bittersweet. Songs resonates more. Experience these new emotions and continue to live your life having learned from them. The best way to live is by taking it as a new experience. You should be the main focus of your life. Use the pain of a breakup to grow. Life is more bearable for those who turn everything into an advantage. The advantage of past relationship is that it shows us what we don't want and who we don't want to be. Using these lessons and avoiding the same mistakes will bring you happiness in the long run. Believe me, you don't want to miss the right relationship. It is good to be alone. It is not possible to forget about the pain of a breakup, but it is possible to suppress and try to avoid it. Instead of thinking about the past, try finding a new hobby to occupy your mind and practice self-development. This in turn will boost your ego. Meet new people. I'm not saying look for a new partner, but being able to do things like flirting again will make you feel free and have fun. Do yourself a favor. The most important thing for me in a situation like this is music. What are you listening to? You can leave a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe to discover and find yourself. Thanks for watching.